Smrek is third behind only Bergen, Riley, and Izzy Stark during conference play in assists per set. That was Leverett into the net trying to bump set that ball.
UCLA needs to dig a ton of balls against this very dangerous Wisconsin offense, and they have to be able to get swings out of those opportunities.
Back set Dodson, and those are the type of misses that Kelly Sheffield warned us could be coming against this super large Wisconsin block.
That wasn't even the block that caused that. It was just off rhythm for Audrey Pack and Anna Dodson.
I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, but I think I'm with you on that as well. Leverett off the block, and that's what you have to do against the Wisconsin block. Serving specialist, Kat Lutz. Furbringer to Orjul. This is the redshirt freshman from Howards Grove, Wisconsin. Damrow on the serve. Leilani Dobson has to tip. And Crawford is blocked.
Audrey Pack is one of the best blocking setters in the Big Ten.
Pack goes behind the service line. Block gets to Smrek. Point continues. And Crawford knew what to do with the situation. Server Miley Chan also forced into action due to those injuries. Sheridan Leverett has the kill. Alfie told us that as the season has gone along, Leverett's become more fearless, and she's willing to live with getting blocked here and there. Always comes back for that next swing. Good cover by Dewick. Damrow has the dig for Wisconsin. Back row Franklin. Longest rally so far. Throw by Orjul. Couple of defensive plays in the front row for Kiki Horn during this point. Orjul once again hits the angle. It's off the net and kept up momentarily. But Yulia Orjul connecting for the Badgers.
Charlie Furbringer in the pocket is very good at running the offense.
Not allowed to tip. He is barring his team from tipping.
He said, hey, if we're going to knock off Wisconsin tonight, we are not going to tip. We are going to go down swinging.
Leilani Dodson, Anna Dodson, the two middle blockers for UCLA. No relation there. And Leilani to the back row to serve. Swing by Devin Robinson. Pack has to run to chase that down, and Kiki Horn reacts nicely. Wisconsin, the top offensive team in the Big Ten. #1 in hitting percentage in the conference. #6 in the country, coming in 304. A lot of that to do with Franklin. Crawford tries to serve short, serves it into the net right there. Well, Lola Schumacher for Wisconsin was injured in warmups, got hit in the head. It appeared that Gulje Guchtikin, their #2 DS, was already planning to sit tonight. Franklin in the middle of the court. How do those missing players impact this matchup? Damrow is the #10 overall recruit. A couple of classes ago, #2 libero. Kiki Horn threads it down, a player who has been hot and cold this year. Sydney Breon recently has played her way into a more elevated role at DS. Service error for #10 in white.
Watch UCLA attack the right side of the court.
It's Dodson. Nice serve by Kat Lutz. Doesn't matter though, Wisconsin knows how to terminate. Carter Booth.
When you're setting someone who's 6'7", that height, just getting the pace and the location perfect, it's a challenge. You don't have a lot of 6'7" middle blockers. The tallest I played with was 6'2", so trying to find their window is the challenge for the setter.
You're looking at different hitters, different dimensions to have to set into across the net. And Crawford, a little shorter in the middle, and of course there's Anna Smrek at 6'9" for the Badgers. Furbringer to Crawford, who has really come on as this season has gone along in a lot of different ways. But Leverett in transition scores for the Bruins. Former Beach player at Stanford, Kate Riley, serves it up. That is smashed. Yulia Orjul. Serves at Riley here. Grace Olson. Damrow the pickup, but the overdig is not handled. Same service spot, Pack. He was facing Olson, and it worked out well. Grace Olson, junior from Pleasanton, California. See a lot of right sides in the NCAA game come out for the back three rotations. Ace serve, and the Bruins have tied up this first set on Leilani Dodson's ace. That's the part of the court where Coach Sheffield has noticed more teams have been serving the Badgers, and Dodson creating more problems out there. Second straight ultra-effective serve by Leilani Dodson, the Northwestern transfer. Block touch against Franklin. And Dodson picks it up and throws it down. Just pushed her away from the setter a little bit there. 4-0, Bruins run. Franklin puts an end to it. Carly Anderson, the server. High off the block there, kept in play on the Olsen swing. Thumbs down swing by Franklin. Free over for the Badgers. Back row, Orjul. Dewick picks it up. Kiki Horn in transition. Miley Chan had the dig. Here's a chance for Olsen. Chan once again. Franklin tips, setter out of the play. Olsen is roofed. It looked like UCLA was ahead in that point. This has been really good volleyball first part of the first set between the number 6 team in the country and a team on the outside of the tournament looking in at the moment. Double contact called on Wisconsin.
For UCLA, they're hitting 368 against Wisconsin. I mean, those are incredible numbers, and you're going to win a lot of matches hitting those kind of numbers.
Diving play, Orjul, as you said, last year's libero, and saved by Chan off the bench area. Slide attempt, Dodson into the block touch. Sarah Franklin off the high set. Riley scoops it up. Nice set by Pack to Kiki Horn, who's had the hot hand in the early going.
One arm dig, bringing it back into the court. And this is something UCLA said they wanted to do. Transition set the ball inside to shorten the block approach of Wisconsin.
She was just this week named an AVCA National Player of the Year semifinalist after winning the award last year. Block cover, Peyton Dewick, the libero for UCLA. Down the line, Sheridan Leverett, and the outsides for the Bruins have been cooking early on. Smrek in the middle, and Dodson was ready. Let's not forget how good of a player Anna Dodson is.
Not afraid to take on that challenges. Beautiful stop at the net for UCLA.
It was all Pac-12 each of the last 3 years. Franklin down the line. Clever by Pack finding Smrek, and that led to a Bruins point. They have a cushion. 20-15. Wisconsin has used both timeouts, and the second one nets them a free point off of a missed serve. Leverett is 5 for 5. Is it faster than they would expect it to be?
No, it's just got good pace, and the fact that UCLA has established the middle holds Carter Booth a little bit longer.
Pancake, Leilani Dodson, and Leverett is 6 for 6. Thought that might be the break that Wisconsin was looking for. Instead, a momentum builder again for the Bruins, way over the top like Smrek is wont to do. Oh, the first shot by Leverett that doesn't result in a UCLA point. Instead, Wisconsin scores.
And they all want to finish with only wins to secure the highest NCAA seed they can.
Looking forward to that Penn State-Nebraska match on the final weekend of the regular season. Well, I guess we're seeing what Kelly Sheffield was saying when he still felt like there's more to improve for Wisconsin defensively, even though they're one of the top opponent hitting percentage teams in the league. Down the line, it's thrown down by Yulia Orzel. Orzel leads the team in aces per set. Horn off the hands, and Kiki Horn 4 for 7.
The aggressive mindset in this match tonight for UCLA has been impressive.
Kate Duffy, who had to fill in for Pack at setter recently, fitting into that service sub role on set point. And UCLA, oh, look at that record when they've won the first set. Gonna be tougher against the number 6 team in the country. So on fire in the first set, the graduate student from Moraga, California, Pack. Here she is, first opportunity. We'll get a second opportunity. Right back to Leverett, high swing. UCLA all calling for contact, and the referee tonight.
No contact there, and they do not ask their coach to challenge that ball.
Pack again calls her own number. Pretty good ball again from Pack after she got brought beyond that attack line. Leverett got off to a 6 for 6 start. She's now 7 for 10 with 2 errors, has cooled down a bit. Leilani Dodson slide into the block. The other way, Leverett. The block wins that confrontation, Carter Booth and Smrek.
This combination of Anna Smrek on the pin and Carter Booth present a big challenge defensively.
Does that count as a tip?
It was close.
She makes up for it on that point.
Good things happen when you're aggressive.
Has the hops with the best of them. It's actually an interesting contrast, really, between kind of two different looks. You have that size on the Wisconsin side, and they're so fundamentally sound, but Leverett, she is fearless. It can really fly. Sage Damrow back to serve. If you missed it earlier, Lola Schumacher sustained a head injury in warm-ups. Gulje Guchtikin also out today with an injury at DS for Wisconsin. Good pass by Damrow. And Smrek brings it down. Service error by Miley Chan, freshman from Portland, Oregon, who had played in just 6 matches, 7 sets all year before being forced into today's action due to those injuries we just mentioned. Leilani Dodson had 2 aces in the first set. Nice save by Chan. Pack, Olsen, block didn't get there.
UCLA got a free ball, took advantage. teams are traditionally serving away from Franklin and Orgel, so Damrow and Chen will get tested when they're in the serve-receive position.
Yeah, even when Schumacher was in there, they were serving at the freshman libero over those pins, which is unusual. I would assume that strategy would only be amplified now due to that change in availability. That was hit out. Olsen is roofed. Sarah Franklin got out there and set the line nicely.
The block for Wisconsin didn't have to move very far on that tight pass, and Sarah Franklin does really nice handwork over the net to cut that hit off.
I don't know if Franklin's going to win back-to-back National Player of the Year. In fact, probably a lot of people would pick somebody in a Pittsburgh Panthers uniform. Could be a possibility, but man, Franklin wins it last year, and then her numbers go up this year.
Sarah Franklin has been really impressive this year. You're right, winning the AVCA Player of the Year and then coming back and even being better. I think Tori Stafford for Pitt has been impressive. Merritt Beeson, I like Harper Murray for Nebraska. I think she's doing an incredible job. She's not even in those, semi-finalists, but I'm just telling you, players who I think have been dominating.
It's tough. Nebraska's so balanced that they don't have one player with those types of, that type of numbers. 5-1 run for Wisconsin. Oh man, they set that up well, and Franklin had no resistance. You watch a team like Wisconsin, it's hard to imagine there's more firepower elsewhere where you'd want to choose anybody else, but there are teams like Pitt and Nebraska, and what a race to the finish line it's going to be this year in NCAA volleyball. Carter Booth, that's off the block, and Leverett earns the stuff block for UCLA. There's over 15,000 fans that watched Sarah Franklin connect on 33 kills in that Wisconsin Marquette match. Oh, Damrow got caught in between thoughts, touched it. It's an ace, and UCLA has scored 4 straight to tie it.
UCLA is relentless about going after her.
How much of an impact has that aspect of this had so far? The absence of Schumacher, the insertion of Damrow. Not gonna work against Smrek and Booth. Difficult serve by the Hermosa Beach native Charlie Furbringer, and part of her homecoming after Wisconsin took care of USC in a sweep earlier this week. And another one goes down. Furbringer has been neck and neck with Izzy Stark this year.
So she brought this entire Wisconsin team to Hermosa Beach, and they did a yoga session on the beach. So she showed them where she's from, a little bit about what makes her tick, and they had a great time.
Leverett earns the point.
Wisconsin has all 3 of their hitters stacked on the left side.
Again, off the hands, Leverett converts.
Fantastic transition offense for UCLA.
UCLA uses 2 liberos, new rule this year. One of them, Lutz, is in charge of serving, and she gets tied up right there with Leverett. Point for the Badgers. Dodson on the slide. That's Leilani Dodson, to be clear. Okay, I've been waiting, though, since you brought up the yoga. I'm interested to hear your incisive analysis about how does yoga translate to volleyball. I feel like there's some good carryover there. As Olsen, nice little pose there potentially by Franklin, reaching out for that, and Orgel puts it away.
Look, yesterday was a day off for Wisconsin. Why not take a day off? It's called active recovery, a good stretch, a little meditation, and they were on the beach, in the sand, literally. Unfortunately for them, it was one of the windiest days all year on the beach, and it was cold.
Cold by LA standards.
Correct.
Leverette's been hitting high, and it works once again.
The original call is a touch on Wisconsin. Point to UCLA. Wisconsin is challenging that there was no touch.
To see what they decided. And they reversed the call. Good challenge by Wisconsin. Well, probably no accident that Alfie Rep, who was a wonderful player in his own right as a libero, was a part of the Team USA silver medal winning coaching staff in Paris. Couple of reactions each way, and then over the top, that was Crawford. She's been doing that lately. I mean, her pro career, no doubt, coming up. I mean, should she send some tape out? Potentially to be a dual threat, setter and hitter. Smrek to the floor. A little bit of a homecoming for her as well, even though she's from Canada. Her father, Mike, was a part of 2 NBA championship Los Angeles Lakers teams in the 80s. Olsen, crossbody. Furbringer to CC Crawford. Wisconsin has a unique system offensively where they use 3 different middles, and they don't move them in and out of the lineup just sporadically. They actually have a structure. If you think about it, there are 6 rotations split into 2 with serve, receive, and serving, so it's like 12 mini games, as Coach Sheffield describes it, because they want to utilize each of their players' strengths. They're not trying to get cute. This is what they feel like is the best thing to win. Another Crawford set, this time sets a teammate. And Kiki Horn is 5 for 9, a player who has struggled to hit efficiently this year. North Carolina Gatorade Player of the Year, and she's been put in a really difficult position this year. They have some older players that are unavailable, and could have been some times when Horn might have had a chance to watch, and instead has kind of been pressed into action this year.
They were not disciplined enough on the block to score the point.
UCLA hitting 0 in the current set. And there, Horn runs into the block. Yeah, we've seen those 2 different versions of how this match could go between the first set and the second set. The first, Wisconsin was definitely chasing and out of system more. Franklin puts the Badgers on set point. Big turnaround from first set to the second set. A lot of noise from the Badger fans in attendance, and an ace to end the second. A 10-point set victory for Wisconsin. It'll be the first time in conference play all year they have won back-to-back matches. The reflexes by Anna Dodson, but a chance. Furbringer, faster tempo set to Franklin. 2 players on the deck. But a point for Wisconsin despite the effort. Pretty good pass by Dewick. Here is Dodson rolling it down.
UCLA started swinging the entire first 2 sets, so now defense is on their heels.
And that was kind of a roll shot, so I don't know if it fully qualifies. We'll see. We'll monitor those developments, as Booth didn't get the clean connection completely there on the slide attempt. Pack, Leverett, that hit the block and then hit out, so it's a point for Sheridan Leverett. Smrek, smash down from the middle. She can hit from the middle of the net, let's not forget.
She's very good at the quick attack and one-on-one, so hard to stop. Look at her get on top of that ball.
Nice kill by Leilani Dodson. To go back to Smrek for a minute, it's actually crazy because we talk about the 3 different middles for Wisconsin. Well, they have 4 different attacking options from the middle, including Smrek.
In very different locations, but Charlie Furbringer has found her rhythm with all of her hitters, and that's what great setters do. It's like a quarterback. You find the range and the sweet spot for your receivers in football and in volleyball, your hitters, and there's a sweet spot for Anna Smrek on the back set.
Kelly Sheffield said when things get a little bit crazy, Furbringer has already turned into their air traffic controller. The transition from the beach to the indoor.
Kate Riley's special. She grew up playing both, so she's quite familiar with the indoor game and just a great competitor. Her ball control is exceptional, and she's come in and played a huge role. One of the only players for UCLA to play in every set this year.
Wisconsin in the net. Well, Coach Ref has mentioned that really it's similar. She's had to make a few different mechanical adjustments from the beach to the indoors. What might those be?
Well, just body positioning, how to play defense, longer touch, obviously passing a little bit more challenging indoors. Well, I don't know. It's different. It's different. Just getting used to having 5 people on the floor. On the beach is just 2 players where you got to do everything.
So common now for a lot of players to have that crossover experience. As Kiki Horan tries to touch that one toward the block, it doesn't work out.
Speaking of beach volleyball, Charlie Furbringer is a very good beach volleyball player. She could have gone anywhere to play collegiately as well. But both parents won NCAA championships at their respective schools. Joy Mackenzie Furbringer at Long Beach State, and then Matt Furbringer at Stanford University.
And in 2011, Joy, an assistant coach for UCLA when they won the national championship. So clear connection in a lot of different ways for Charlie Furbringer and her family. One of the very best teams in the country, and the Bruins have largely gone toe-to-toe. Chan really stretching down there for that dig against Dodson. Good back row play in this point for Wisconsin. Franklin to the floor.
The original call is point Wisconsin, no net fault. UCLA is challenging that there was a net fault on the play.
Been sort of contesting, protesting in different situations. There was a reminder by the rules people going into the year that hair is not a violation.
In a lot.
After further review, the call is confirmed. There was no net fault, no player contact with the net, just hair. UCLA will lose their challenge.
Dodson nearly scores. Free opportunity. Olsen, joust, Dodson against Robinson. Robinson hit the deck. Riley gets UCLA in system in transition, and taking off of 1 foot, it is Anna Dodson.
Goes in the seam and scores the point.
333, 5 kills, 4 blocks. We are seeing the range, a variety of shots from Dodson tonight. Audrey Pack converts. Playing time over the course of Pack's career has gone up and down. But this is really the first year. Now, she's had 6-2 opportunities in years past, but this year has not been a timeshare. It's been really Pack's time to shine, and she has taken advantage. Service error, Carly Anderson, the Montana transfer, who had close to 4,000 assists for the Grizzlies because Furbringer was injured. That was the one match that Anderson set this year. Pass to attack, Sheridan Leverett using the angle. To the donut for Franklin. Tight on the pass a little bit, but they still managed to convert. That's supposed to be Wisconsin's MO, still scoring points in difficult circumstances. Net violation call. Sarah Franklin, the big kill. It's a West Coast type play.
It is.
Smrek steers that nicely away from the dive of Pak. One-handed Furbringer to Crawford. Oh, who's gonna get there? And one of those lost points you've been talking about, UCLA missing a few of those opportunities. Smrek block didn't quite get there. Easy put down for the 6'9" Anna Smrek, who touches 11-2. It's a 4-0 Wisconsin run. 9 different Big Ten teams, and Wisconsin is one of 3 in the top 10.
RPI is one of the factors for the NCAA committee when they're picking the NCAA bracket. So KPI, RPI, ranked wins, all those are factors.
Wisconsin hoping they can vault their way into the top 4 of the country and host all the way until we get to the Final Four in the KFC Yum Center.
Nope.
That's too many touches. Kiki Horn blocked. Wisconsin has retaken the advantage in the block count. It's now 8-5 Badgers, and a missed serve gives it right back to the Bruins. Riley to Horn using the left hand. And Dodson answers that back row attempt by Franklin. Now Orgel throws it. Dodson gets down low for the dig. Chan digs Olsen, and Furbringer puts an end to it. Wisconsin.
UCLA is hanging around in this third set.
Duick, and this is the libero to the center, and it works out. Audrey Pak to the corner.
And throws it to the corner.
Everyone filling a different role than normal at that point, but it worked out for the Bruins. Devin Robinson, the former right side, takes a swing from that position. Last couple of years, and now one of their 3 working middles in the 5-1 with Furbringer this year. Furbringer got that one.
It takes care of business with the solo block. And as soon as you start backing up that service pressure, you get too tentative, and you have to attack from the back line.
Oh, Dodson had a completely uncontested opportunity, and she missed. That's like in basketball, if you have your best player up for a layup and point blank, they miss. I mean, it's a little bit tougher than that, considering that she's on the move. Slide attack has to find some open court, but with no block there against Dodson. Neck and neck in this match, and in the third set, Smrek from the middle.
Charlie Furbringer to Anna Smrek. That connection is so good.
Who's blocking that? I mean, I don't know if anybody is.
Very hard to stop.
Leverett uses the edge. Back and forth we go in the third. Going alternate points for several stretches here in a row. It is Pak serving down the line. Perfect pass. Furbringer to Smrek on the right side.
Anna Smrek is fired up, getting on top of that ball.
Smrek has taken charge. Now double-figure kills, 10 for 16. Can Leverett convert? Rattles it through. Who can point score? Smrek, once again, barely contested. She's always going to score in that situation. Well, right now, Wisconsin can afford to trade points. They have the slight cushion And the service errors continue. They're 15th compared to just 3 aces.
Wisconsin knows what's open offensively, and that deep line shot falls for Orgel.
On the gap set, Wisconsin keeps it up. Dodson puts it down harder.
And on this one, she yells dog. That's going off 1 foot. She wants it again to kill it.
We're seeing Anna Dodson take ownership of this match tonight. Damrow scoops it. Franklin figures out a way to give Wisconsin set point. Dodson is roofed. Also ends a streak of 7 straight matches the Badgers have played in have been sweeps one way or the other, including 6 wins during that span. Sarah Franklin now 14 kills. Back set to Smrek. 3-time first team All-CIF. Leverett with her 16th kill, and she is hitting around 400.
Not quite sure. They haven't had players be consistent enough in other positions to score at a high clip like Sheridan.
Because the middles are a little more dependent on what's going on around you, and Dodson's numbers down from her previous campaigns when she was all Pac-12 the last few years, as Smrek continues to feel it for Wisconsin.
Anna Smrek is unstoppable right now offensively from the right side. She didn't even get a hold of that like she wanted to, and it still hit inside the angle.
She is 14 for 20 at the moment. Anna Smrek after a slow start as well. Leverett finds the mark. She became just the 5th Bruin in the 25-point rally scoring era with a streak of 20 double-figure kill matches this year. Booth had been hitting, in fact is still hitting negative. She does have 4 blocks. Leilani Dodson answers. One of the big strengths for Sarah Franklin is her passing. Really chopped there by Grace Olson. Franklin leaning in and scores. Coach Sheffield says, though, that she's learned better as the season has gone along when to be more of the gunslinger and when to play it by the book. Orgel lost control and commits a net violation. Just her volleyball IQ was always high, but she's learning on the job, as you would expect just a freshman to do. Contact there, Devin Robinson with the point. Wisconsin hitting over 400. UCLA not bad, 225, but the Badgers are just too good at the moment. You know, there's been some moments for Miley Chan coming in, just 7 sets played before tonight's match. You would think UCLA might use a timeout if Wisconsin scores on this point. Already some separation. Instead, Dodson sides out. Mentioned Alfie Reft, assistant coach, national team this summer. Dodson got to train alongside the national team going into the Olympics. Franklin out of system. Duick to Pack to Kiki Horn. Orgel, last year's starting libero. Not a great touch there. Coming off of the free ball, but another free chance. Pack, Dodson. Another chance. Cover nicely, good read by Damrow. And UCLA net falls. Good bump set by Pack, and Horn pays it off.
Kiki Horn going flat, high hands off the block, making better decisions against the Wisconsin block, and that's one of the things she needs to do as a freshman.
Sydney Breon, the sophomore from Dallas, the server there. And Carter Booth smashes one off of Anna Dodson, who's junior opposite. Leverett kicks it, keeps it up. Good touch by Dewick, but Dodson taps it into the block.
Wisconsin all over that tip, and that's why Alfie Ref did not want tipping. You have to be aggressive against this Wisconsin team.
UCLA called timeout, and Anna Dodson delivers her 8th kill on 21 swings. Franklin goes softer, pancaked and kept off the net momentarily. Good effort by Joy Ume coming in after she didn't appear in their win against Washington. Orgel made a little noise as she knocked that down the line.
Julia Orgel very good at going down the line for Wisconsin. The block moves inside.
It was like a tennis player right there as she followed through in that swing. Good job, thumbs down swing by Leverett. She looks like she could take another 32 swings if they asked her to. She looks peak physical condition, as is Smrek. When you have the committee, which I would think would put into their consideration how teams are playing down the stretch, and you look at Wisconsin, I understand the pure record and the RPI is a little bit lower than those other teams at the moment fighting for the top 4 spots, but Smrek is just a matchup nightmare and potential cheat code. Keep in mind, Wisconsin plays at Nebraska on the 23rd of November. So a chance to bolster that resume. Smrek just off the line. Joy Ume taking a swing, Orgel earning the block. And Leilani Dodson with the miss. Wisconsin continues to separate.
And that leads to unforced errors.
Well, it was lost on me. I think I will say Kelly Sheffield maybe didn't intend the pun when he said they put hitters in a phone booth. Of course, they have a booth on their team in Carter Booth. He also likened it to when you're a quarterback having to fit the ball into a tighter window than you're usually accustomed to against a great safety, and you're going to throw more interceptions trying to force that ball in on the other side in football. By the way, Joy Ume in the front row right now has come in and replacing Olsen right now in the rotation. She gets used right there. Ume transferred in from UC Irvine this year. She has hit in the past, but hasn't hit a lot this year. Franklin finds the spot yet again. It looks like one set, but win the match tonight if nothing changes in a drastic way here in the 4th. Got to keep in mind, though, I bet you there will be some people around the country, you see these top teams, the standard that they're held to. Oh my God, they lost a set. They also, by the way, have not had their top 2 DSs tonight. Schumacher, who got injured during warm-ups, and Guchtakin, who did not dress. Schumacher, it was kind of bizarre, was digging a ball in warm-ups and got hit in the head. And it wasn't even that hard of a hit, but just kind of got her in a weird spot. But great response by Kelly Sheffield's Badgers, having to put younger players in who have mostly delivered tonight. Of course, Schumacher young as well. Kelly was telling us about how, if you think about it, despite all the veteran talent across this Wisconsin team, their first and second touches.
Well, I think they've done a really good job. I mean, you get better and better playing at this level, but you can't really prepare for this level until you get reps and live game stuff. And that's where Lola Schumacher and Charlie Furbringer have proven that they can play at the highest level, and they've really done a nice job transitioning.
Sarah Franklin gets Wisconsin closer to the finish line. She's gotten better over time at moderating those emotions, managing any potential frustration. Another player taking that second ball in Booth. Wisconsin's so good at that. And that block gets used there. Leverett continues to pile up the kills. Smrek terminates another.
Charlie Furbringer using her in the middle, Carter Booth going behind, and that isolates her one-on-one. She goes cross-body for the kill.
That setter-hitter connection. The last 4 matches coming in, Wisconsin at 391. They're currently at 400 in this match. Sheridan Leverett with a hitting error for Wisconsin. Anna Smrek, 16 kills, 609, as Leverett gets to 20. Former Georgia Gatorade Player of the Year, Sheridan Leverett. Especially, too, you think about Leverett's performance on a team where they're overly reliant on her against a team like Wisconsin. Ace serve by Sage Damrow, who had 15 digs in her libero debut. And the Badgers have won 5 straight matches. That's their 20th win of the season.